video, we are going to take a slight deviation from machine learning and we are going to learn a concept of statistic which is known as probability and odds ratio. You would be wondering why exactly am I teaching probability and odds ratio when we are dealing with machine learning? It is because the machine learning model of logistic regression is based on the idea of probability. And we have to understand the odds ratio because over there we use the logit function, the log odds. Hence, if I just give you the model, you will be baffled by the model. Just to ease your life, I am going through the concepts of probability which we have already studied in school and odds ratio which is also a concept that we have studied in our school and college. Now, without further ado, let's start with what exactly is this probability. Probability is a branch of mathematics concerning numerical description of how likely an event is to occur or how likely it is that a proposition is true. It's like a possibility. Is it possible to rain? How likely is it to predict rainfall? How likely is that the markets will fall? How likely is the price of cars will fall? These are all events and probability tries to understand the occurrence of these events and the frequency of these events to find out and predict how frequently that event will occur in the future. Now, probability always lies between 0 and 1. It cannot be less than 0 and it cannot be greater than 1. Now, we are going to look at a practical example of calculating probability. So, this is a small mind example wherein I have an exam. I have to give this exam 4 times in a day. And the next day, again I give this exam. And in the third day, again I give the same exam 4 times. So this is the mind game. Now, what do we have to do? We have to find the probability of passing. I need to find out the probability of me passing the examination. And we have studied the formula for probability of an event. It is nothing but the number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. Now, suppose there are 3 events. Like I said, there are 3 days I am giving the same exam 4 times. So the first day, my first day, I have not prepared for my examination and I just go and write all the 4 exams. I fail badly in all the 4 exams. What will be our probability of passing over here? Since I have not passed any of the exams, my probability of passing will be 0. Now, the second day. In the second day, I know what kind of questions came the previous day. So, I'm a little bit better prepared now. So, in 2 exams, I pass, while in 2 exams, I fail. So over here, what is the probability of pass? How many times have I passed the examination? Twice I have passed the examination. So we will write 2, which is the number of favorable outcomes, that is passing, upon total number of outcomes. I have written 4 exams, so 2 divided by 4, which is nothing but 0.5. Now I have become thorough with the exam. I know all the questions they ask. I have studied well for the exam and I clear all the exams. What will be the probability over here? Since number of favorable outcomes, that is when I pass the examination is 4, upon total number of outcomes, which is again 4. 4 by 4 is 1. So this was the simple probability. In machine learning, this can also be considered as accuracy. Now, if there is accuracy, for sure there is something called as error also. What would be that error? That error would be me failing the exam, which is nothing but 1 minus probability of passing. Now, let us find the error or the probability of not passing the examination for all 3 days. So, same way. First day, all fail. Pass, probability 0. What will be the probability of fail? Over here, we have 4 fails. So, we write 4 upon 4, which is 1. Otherwise, we can also write 1 minus probability of pass is equals to 1 minus 0 is equals to 1. The next day, probability of pass is 0.5. Probability of fail is again 0.5 because over here you have two outcomes which are fail. 2 upon 4 is fail or 1 minus probability of pass. The third day, I pass in all exam. Probability of pass is 1. Probability of fail is 0. Now comes the hero, which is very important for logistic regression. Hence, it is imperative to understand this concept. The odds ratio. Now, what exactly is the odds ratio? It is nothing but the probability of event occurring upon probability of event not occurring. Now, in the above example, what would be the odds ratio in the first scenario? So, in the first scenario, the probability of pass is 0 upon probability of fail is 1. So, our odds ratio is going to be 0. In the next scenario, our probability of pass is 0.5 and our probability of fail is 0.5. Over here, our logs ratio is 1. On the third day, the probability of pass is 1 and probability of fail is 0 and you have infinity. I hope the idea of probability, the idea of accuracy, the idea of error, the idea of odds ratio is clear for one and all. In the future videos, I will be explaining how these concepts are used to build the model for logistic regression. Thank you.